Welcome to another episode of Middle Ground with JLE L.L.C, where we treat you like family. That's the theme song, Detroit Love, off my first album, JLE Experience. I own the music and copyright, don't mean nothing. We got another great guest and recurring guest in the season 10 here. We have Susie Q's Kids, President and Co-Founder, Dr. Mary Welsh, SPHR, SCP. Welcome back to the show.
Well, I'm glad to be back. It's a wonderful evening.
Awesome.
I'm ready for summer. How about you?
It'd be nice.
We had a good taste of it, you know.
Cut the heat off and I'd be good. Like, all right. You got to pay DT all that money no more. So it's coming to some point.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna kind of freestyle a little bit. What's been going on with the company and everything?
Yeah. So I'm the president of Susie Q's Kids. My beautiful passed away. Gosh, it's gonna be 6 years in June 1st, Jeffrey. But from that tragic loss, we decided to make something positive out of it. So I do a lot of speaking in schools and different organizations about the power positive and how we can flip our switch a little bit. And then we created Susie, a nonprofit that provides comfort bags to kids in need. A very comforting effect that we help kids that are in hospitals or shelters or foster care, kids that are autism centers, grief centers, wherever there's a nonprofit with kids in it in their program, we can help them out a little bit to make their day a little brighter.
Okay, now the last time you was here, you won Mompreneur of the Year, I believe.
I did.
Congratulations on that.
Yes, Mona Lisa lyrics, and I was shocked to win Mom of the Year, Mompreneur of the Year, and kidded with her. I'm like, you mean Grandmapreneur of the Year? And she goes, no, you're always a mom first. So, yeah, it's been a great ride. Meeting a lot of nice people and different events and different things with Mona. So, able to get out there and network with people and share our mission and, and people to do their best and be their best, right?
All the time. So it's an awesome 23 so far. What exciting and breakthrough stuff has happened for the company so far? That's awesome.
We're starting to get a name for ourselves out in the community. So we did a couple events here in the local school. So Warren Cusno had us come out, and the kids said they wanted to raise $5,000 for us and to make bags for kids. So they actually raised $1,000, and they gave me a check, and I said, you know what, philanthropy, you need to experience the whole process. So they went out and they did thing, and they earned that money, and then we came back with a product.
Nice.
So they added some to it, and they were able to make 200 comfort bags.
Nice.
And then they wanted to give it to foster kids. So 2 executive directors, one from Big Family in Michigan over in Shores, and the Enos Center for Children over on Southfield.
Okay.
And they represented the organization, told them bags were going to impact the kids that were in their program, told them might be able to volunteer and help out with their program, at different times of the year, and about raising awareness for, how our kids can help kids, right? Part of our program is we further the mission of other nonprofits, and we kids and helping kids. And of course, at the end of the day, there's always a child that gets the bags. They had a great time doing the
Doing what?
We were very
okay. awesome.
So we have another school that we're working with, Warren Tower, and they're in the beginning stages of trying to figure out how they're going to fundraise, and hopefully we can do the same thing with them. It's great.
Okay. Now, do you have a school district or area that you haven't reached out or partnered with yet that you want to partner with?
We're starting to. A lot of the schools are reaching out to us.
Awesome.
Their leadership teams or their groups are looking us up. We're the top rated nonprofit in Warren on Great Nonprofit. So we've gotten kids that have found us online through that program. But I'm open to any school, anybody that wants to talk to me. Well, we can have a discussion and see what we can do as far as doing, a portion of the stuffing, like just a hygiene kit, as opposed to the full thing, or if they're able to, manage the whole program, then we can do the whole program as well. So we've been in Centerline, we've been out in Bloomfield Hills and Rochester. So we're just starting to explore the students that are reaching out to us. So it's pretty cool.
Okay. Your screen is freezing. Maybe
I'm sorry.
No problem. We work it out over here at the middle ground. We ain't tripping.
So can you hear me though?
Not yet. I hear you clearly.
Okay. All right. So, well, hopefully it's frozen a good shot. So there is an event coming up in June down at the Durfee Innovation Center.
Okay.
They're going to be having a talent show. Some of the students are going to be doing a talent show down there. So I'll probably be down there for that. I believe it's June the 24th. But I'd have to check that date for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're still frozen, which is weird, but your audio is amazing.
Okay.
That's the weirdest thing I've seen in doing this show so far. Audio.
But, yeah. So you can't see me making faces at you then, huh?
Oh, you making faces? No, I can't see it. I can't see it. You dirty. You ain't right.
So yeah, so part of our our mission is to go into the schools and talk to the kids, when we're talking to them about kids helping kids. And I go in and I tell them a little of the backstory on Susie and some of the challenges that she overcame in her young life, and some of the things that we have learned along the way in our grief journey and to hope and healing. And really the underlying factor is it's okay not to be okay. It's that
is true.
Students sometimes don't understand that. Some of us adults either don't understand it.
Oh man, yeah.
So I was telling I went to Warren Tower, and I was talking to students there, and I said, hey, your pizza's here. It's nice and hot and it's waiting on a table over here for you. But I just want to know if you actually heard what I talked about today. So kind of give me 5 things. What do you think? 5 things. And one student stood up and she said, you know what? There's no guarantee that we're going to see all of us tomorrow, that one of us might not be here for some reason or another. So we should give each other a hug and a kiss today because there's no guarantee of tomorrow. And I said, oh, you're so right. She says, can I have a hug? And I said, yes, you may have a hug. And I gave her a hug. Wow. Another kid stood up and he said, I learned it's okay not to be okay. And that's all right. He said, I didn't know that. He said, wow. I always thought there's something wrong with me when I didn't feel okay. He said, and you really kind of reinforced that for me. You opened my eyes. And I said, oh, that's wonderful. And he said, and you look like you give good hugs, Dr. Mary. I'm like, yeah. And then, a couple of the other ones got up and really reiterated what we talked about. And I said, okay, come get your pizza. It's hot. I said, I'll be up in the front of the room. You can come up and talk to me. And, there must have been 15 or 20 kids that came up and told me a story.
Okay.
And that's what life is about. It's about stories. We're the author of our day every day, and we get to write the story every day. And if it's a bad day, we just put that chapter to bed and let's have a different one tomorrow, right?
That's true.
And these kids came up and told me stories of hope and trials and tribulations that they'd had, and what they were dealing with, and they all asked for a hug, Jeffrey. They all wanted a hug. Oh my goodness, attention. But they opened up, and that was what it was all about. That's what the focus was. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to, I told them to look at the person next to them and tell them their safe word. And I said, I don't care. It might get you in trouble at some point, but I want you to have that safe word. And if your friend tells you that safe word, stop, get out of class, go, whatever you're doing, stop and listen to them. I said, because they might be teetering on a ledge, and they just need someone to give them that, that voice to be able to be heard and to talk for a moment. I said, and then, then you talk them off the ledge a little bit, and then you'll be okay. But if you hear that safe word that they share with you, then you drop everything, because it can be the matter of going down into the rabbit hole of despair, or being able to make them laugh. That's what I told them. I said, laughter is a wonderful thing. If you can tell somebody a joke or something that make
True.
It's going to make them laugh, effective in that moment, right?
That's true. I mean, the fact these kids understand that you might not be here tomorrow is wow. I never had to think about that as a kid in '84 going to kindergarten. That's so crazy. that they can articulate that to you, like, yeah.
Yeah, it's so sad. You hear it on TV all the time, the different situations that are happening, and they have, safety drills and different things like that. Whether school should always be a safe zone, right? And your home should be a safe zone, and unfortunately those don't always happen.
Yeah, it's terrible. People are shooting up schools now like cowards. It's terrible.
We have a visitor. Hi, Chris.
Yep, he's part of bringing humanity together. Good group of people trying to help people pick each other up. Pretty cool cat. Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, I was thinking about it earlier. Okay, we're gonna do the show. Like, I don't know what we're gonna talk about, because we did the background already. But I'm pretty sure they're doing some awesome stuff. I see what you be posting. Then I'm like, well, you know what? I just realized it. April 30th will be a year my nephew was taken since last year. Like, wow, time really has flew by. And you have little kids dealing with this same type of stuff where it's okay not to be okay. And I think as adults, we really don't even say that to ourselves, that, hey, you ain't all you maintain it, but you ain't good right now. Like, you need to talk to someone if someone's feeling like that, or go get a hug or get a punching bag or something. But we hear more about mental health now because a lot is coming at you like a fastball in baseball daily now.
Right.
Like ever before. And laughter is definitely a great medicine to help you remember the good times and good memories and keep fighting.
So I went to a funeral this weekend, and we drove down to Missouri, and one of my uncles passed away. He was 92, and he had a wonderful life, and he had a big, beautiful family, and he was very well loved, right? And so I was standing there at the end of the the afternoon dinner and whatnot, and I said, "Hey, can we get a picture of all the cousins together? Because
Okay.
I haven't had a picture of them all together since they were little." And so we all got in the picture, and they took a bunch of pictures. And I said, "Before you move," I said, "I want everybody put your thumbs up in the air." So Jeffrey, put your thumbs up in the air for me, okay? All right. They took the picture, and I said, "I'll tell you why in a minute." And so they took a bunch of pictures, and then I said, turned around and I said, "You got 2 thumbs up in the air." I said, "One is your mom and one is your dad." And at this very moment, they are exactly where they need to be. They're together. And they're with you right now because you physically thought of them by putting that thumb up in the air. It was a physical thing you did. It was an emotional and a mental thing that you connected with them. And I said, you can share that with your grandkids and your kids. And when you take pictures, there you go. That thumb is going to remind you that you were thinking about somebody in that space and time, right? And they all was like, "Oh my goodness, Mary, that's so easy to think." All of them were smiling because they all had their thumbs up in the air, and they're like, "You're right. They're here, right here with us right now in this space and time." And so if you tell, especially if you tell little ones that story, you'll see that they'll put their thumbs up in the air. I've got a little guy. He was his uncle passed when he was 2 and his aunt when he was 3. So when he puts it up, it's Aunt Susie and Uncle Keith.
Okay.
So he's going to be 9, and I don't think he ever takes a picture without putting his thumbs up in the air. And he's got some goofy poses, right?
That's awesome.
If I don't put my thumb up in there, he'll turn around and look at me. He goes, "Whoa, Aunt Susie, Nana, Aunt Susie, Aunt Nana." How much does he really remember of Susie and his Uncle Keith? Because he was so little, but it's a chance to tell a new story or to make him laugh or think or connect to what he's doing today, so that they're still live with us, right? They're still present in our day, right?
Sure. And Chris would like to connect with you.
Oh, very cool, Chris. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thoughts, prayers for your family.
I appreciate those thoughts and prayers. It's amazing.
And he got the thumbs up.
Hey. Am I still froze, or are you seeing me now?
Nah, you still frozen, but it's amazing.
I'm still frozen in that goofy space, probably, right?
Now you have a very stoic leadership face.
Oh, okay.
What you got going on? Chris says connection leads to collaboration, will lead into community. Thumbs up, 100. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, 110%. I am the president of the Sterling Heights Lions Club. And 2, maybe 3 weeks ago now, I did an event with collaborating with the president of the Clinton Valley Kiwanis Club. And we invited, there was 100 people in the room. There were Knights and Elks and Eagles and Rotary and Kiwanians and Lions, all the service industries.
Okay.
And I had nonprofits, I had chambers, I had organizations like Share Detroit that support nonprofits. I had some funders in the room. And oh my goodness, I was on a high because there was so much goodness in the room. The discussions that were going on, it was just unbelievable. And, when I set it up, I'm like, so you guys ever been in a room like with what some people call your competitors, the other service organizations? And they're like, nobody's ever done this before. And I'm like, why? We're better when we're together. I've gone and helped Kiwanians with their events and Rotary with their events, and whatever we can do in the community to make our community better, we learn about it. And when someone needs help, maybe they're not in our area or our connections, but if we're connected to other people, we know the connections to get to them, right?
Okay.
So I had a young lady that she called and she needed some help, and she was in a hard situation, and I had her come up to the club, and I had done a bunch of research, and I'd got her all the names and connections and different things to check out, and I gave her my personal connections to different people, and she got rent assistance, and she got food, and got her kids in school, and all the different things that she needed to do, right? And at the end of the day, she says, "Oh my goodness, I've never had anybody help me like this. You're my mentor. Can you be my mentor?"
Okay.
And I'm like, absolutely, right? So
Nice.
Chris, yes, collaboration is all over it. Hi, Gina.
Oh yeah, he's on. I'll probably put something in an inbox for y'all to connect.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So
Now
yeah, so I'm all about collaboration.
you're a Lions fan. How did you feel about this season?
I'm sorry, say it again.
You're a big Lions fan. How did you feel about the season?
Oh my gosh, we have season tickets, so we have five seats, and we're looking forward to a little more excitement than some of the games that we've had in the past.
Okay. Yeah, they're looking good.
Yeah. My sister had 4 seats, and she was behind us, and for some reason at the end of the season she said she was going to let hers go, and her kids found out no that wasn't happening.
Nah, because they're gonna make the playoffs. They actually, well, I did read 2 players were suspended for gambling. Like, why you do that? But okay. But they still going in the right direction, which I haven't been hopeful in years. Like, wow, they actually look like they about to turn that corner. Okay.
I have to tell you, the games at the end of last season were pretty cool.
Man, I still
And to
stand by it.
see the audience and how excited they were, that was pretty good.
Yes, I'm not going downtown when we win the Super Bowl. Won't be nowhere near it. People gonna lose their man. We won the Super Bowl. Like, yep. Congratulations. I'll stay at my house. Y'all gonna be drinking, partying, just outside screaming, "We're the champs!" Like, yeah, I ain't going down there. How long we've been starving for a Super Bowl? I'm good. I'm good.
So my one of my daughters is a fashion designer, and she was with
Okay.
one of the stars a couple of years ago, and she got to go to the Super Bowl and be and all the excitement and everything. And I'm like, wait a minute, Mom gets to sit at home and you get to go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that ain't right.
Hey, you got a T-shirt, Mama, and a helmet.
A T-shirt. You couldn't get an extra ticket. No pass or something. Let me stand. I can stand on the side of the field. Be all right. I can see the field. It was definitely nice being there. We might get another one day.
One day.
Especially being domed. So that'd be pretty cool.
Well, so they might get some primetime TV this year, though, they're saying. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah. More than one game?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
They're saying we're going to get some primetime dates. So.
Oh, the Lions are coming up in the world. At least get a Sunday and a Monday night. But they get more than that. They get a Thursday night. Like, oh wow. Yeah, we becoming a legit team now. You got a lot of teams that suck, but still be on at least 7-8 times for the season. Like, you really can't put the Lions on, really? I mean, come on. Some of these teams suck. We are starting to win. Keep it fair. That's all I'm saying. Keep it fair. It's time to go ahead and market, promote your business, your nonprofit, whatever else you got coming up.
Yeah. So, we've got running a promotion this week or this month. In May, it'll be Mental Health Awareness Month. And so I'm partnering with Michigan Real Estate Masterminds, and they are an organization of networkers in the housing industry, so real estate agents, mortgage, title, different individuals, and I'm going to be speaking to them about the power of positivity and, how they can, utilize that in their day to day. And also rolling out a program where if they sell a house, that, the buyer agent or the seller agent or the mortgage or insurance agent or title agent, if they donate $25 from their proceeds of that sale, to Susie Q's, that can go a long ways in helping us put bags in the hands of kids. And if they're proactive and they can get their broker to match it, that'll put a bag right in the hand of a kid. And we have multiple ways to do that. So I'm looking forward to going out to speak to all these lunch and learns that they're going to be running, and seeing if I can't drum up some business for us that way. So how does that sound to you? Does that sound like a good deal?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So so that's pretty exciting. We're in I'm in the I said I was with the Sterling Heights Lions Club. And so they very kindly allow us to use their facilities. We have a hall over there on Canal Road. And on the second Monday of every month at 6:00, I do a bag stuffing. So if you want to come out and learn a little bit more about what we do, and help me put some product in a bag and for a good cause, come out and check us out on the second Monday of every month, and we'll be at the hall. It's 12828 Canal Road in Sterling Heights. So they've been very supportive of our efforts to help the community.
Now, have you gained more people that have given funds to help make bags?
Yeah, so this week I was talking with Rider International, and they're going to run a promotion for us with their employees, and so that'll bring in some good things. And like I said, the kids are reaching out to us from the different schools, and they're raising funds, and so that's been helpful to be able to do that. We do a lot of grant writing, so we've gotten some grants. Variety Children's Group, Four County Community Foundation. Right now, the Four County Community Foundation is working with their youth group, their youth advisory group, and they're running a program to raise funding to make between 160 and 200 bags. And what we're going to do, depending on how much they raise, is give 20 to 25 bags to 8 different school districts.
Wow.
So Oxford and Clarkston, and they're out on the far side of the county there, 4 counties. The therapist, the school counselors, they'll be able to use them when a student comes in and they have, maybe have a death in the family, or they're having some issue that's going on, a health issue or whatever. They're going to be able to use those bags to comfort those kids. And so they'll come in handy that way. And so these are kids that are, doing fundraising to help their peers, right? To help the kids right amazing. In their own home, their own, hometown there, to make life a little easier for them. So, we really enjoy that kids helping kids aspect. So, if you have any church group, youth group, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, a baseball team, something like that would like to, be involved, reach out to me. And we have donation boxes. You can do donation drives where you can collect coloring books and crayons and colored pencils, for example. Or you can help us put together plastic bags with shampoo and soap and a hairbrush in it, right? So that those go in our hygiene bags. So there's different ways that we can work together. So call me, reach out, say, hey, I got this many people or this many things, or I've got these ideas, and we'll make a program work for you.
Okay. Now, have you reached out to any colleges to for donations or partner or sponsor?
Yep. You can go on our website, which you got going across the bottom there. My email is drmary@susieqskids.org, so you can do that as well. And my phone number, if you can put it in the chat for me, is 248-220-6846. So you can always reach out, and that's all on the website as well. And there's a donate button on there, so you can find more information as well.
Well, I'll put it on the screen, and when I post the latest episode, I'll put all that in there. So
perfect.
I know how to reach you.
Yeah. So I use let me take one off here. I got one on. So I have what I call starter beads, and it's just a keychain with all different color beads, and it's got little symbols on it. So this one's got an angel and a cross and the ever sign on it. But I always say, I wear them, and I say each bead has a different story to it.
Okay.
So if I was wearing this and you saw it, this one's got a picture of my daughter on there. My daughter, Susie. But if you had saw it and you made a comment, I would say, well, each one of these beads tells a different story. And I always tell people you can make them. We use them for donations as well. But pick out 2 beads and make a funny story about them. So I'll tell you my funny story. This blue one in the middle here reminds me of my mom. And my mom, she was 90, just shy of 93, and she was a hoot. She would get into your business. She'd ask you anything and everything that she wanted to. It didn't matter. No filter. She was just a very personable person, and she just wanted to know everybody's business. And I have to tell you, Jeffrey, you would not have been safe, because if you were and you were 3 years old or 98, my mom would have hit on you. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
I'm flattered.
And you did exactly what I wanted you to do. You laughed. I told you a story about someone that's really special to me, and you laughed. And what happens sometimes is people will say, oh my God, well, you should have known my mom or my Nana or my auntie or whoever. And they come back with a different story. And so that's why I call it a story starter. But there has to be a funny story. It has to be something to make people laugh. So my mom always, I tell that story all the time. My mom makes people laugh all the time. So tell me a funny story. Come on back. Give me something.
Funny story? Let me see. Can't think of nobody I know at the moment. Well, a funny story about me. Oh Lord, I shouldn't say this, but
now you gotta say it now.
Yeah, Lord, say be transparent. All right, a few years ago, I don't care if people laugh. Go ahead, have a good laugh tonight. My sister had bought some mace, and she was trying to figure out how to work it. I'm like, well, let me help you out. And helping her, showing and opening it, some of the mist got out. Even with glasses on, some of the mist got in my eyes. And before you know it, I'm like, woo, oh Lord. I run there, put some water on my eyes. I'm like, man, someone's still coming with just some mist. They the devil. My sister dying laughing. And then she called everybody like, you won't believe what your brother did. And within hours, you maced yourself, huh? Like, I knew she wanted to keep it to herself. And it happened. It happened. Yeah, go ahead and laugh. It was a good laugh for a few hours. So anybody, my family who definitely know the story, they check the episode, they definitely gonna laugh. Anybody watching or watch the replay, hope you had a good laugh on Friday. And she had to run the bathroom. So I'm feeling myself like, God, he makes himself. I'm like, he can't be that funny. I'm the one to pay. And it was instantaneous, like Oh no, what the hell happened? We gotta stop this. Find the kitchen. Hurry up. I took off running. That's my funny story that I have vowed I would never say in public. But I do it for the kids.
Well, my brother one day, he was talking to my daughter. She was sick and she had just had a surgery and she was
Mhm.
laid up on the couch and she had cold compress on her head and she just wasn't feeling too good. And he was going from the kitchen out the door wall to go
Okay.
outside. And he said something to her and she answered. And then he proceeded to walk out the door. Well, someone on the outside shut the door. And so he face planted right
Ooh.
into the door wall with
Ooh.
all his food up and down his
Ooh.
body. And this little
Oh
thing is
no.
laying on the couch and she is rip roaring laughing. And she said, I didn't know if it was funny or the look on his face. Like, did anybody notice? The whole wall, boom, 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 reverberated. And God, she would laugh out of the clear blue. She would just start belly laughing. I said, "What are you laughing at?" Oh, I can still picture Uncle Jim walking into that door wall. And I've told him when he gets to heaven, oh my God, there's a door wall waiting up there. And she's just waiting on the other side for you to come and say hello.
See. God, unfortunately, is like you got to tell the other story, which I don't want to tell, but you know what? You got to be transparent. Me and my homeboy was playing the PlayStation one late night years ago. I just ran up the stairs, go get my food and my juice. Like, all right, I'm about to whoop him up and talk some smack. I come back down the stairs, and we had stairs, landing. Somehow, a nail that wasn't nailed all the way down caught my sock.
No.
It caught me. All right, I caught everything. I thought I was good. I didn't fall. And then the goofy moment happened. I fell again. And you just hear, oh, boom, 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 boom. Oof, eef. Hey, man, you all right? You all right? Like, man, I don't know, my foot. Now, of all things, this dude, because he went to Michigan State, so he looked at me like, oh, this Mateen Clean, and started dying laughing like, God, this ain't funny. I'm in pain. I'm trying not to laugh because I'm in pain like crazy. Like, I think I sprained my ankle. This dude called me Mateen Clean when he hurt himself that year. Like, I'm like, this is not that funny, man. Stop it. Man, you Mateen Clean. We got to get you to the hospital. Come on. So we go out to the Dearborn 24-hour emergency spot. And him and my brother had jokes. Man, this dude ran upstairs to get some food and he fell down the stairs. Like, I didn't fall down the stairs. A nail caught my sock. Nah, this dude fell down the stairs. Like, okay, you want to tell the nurse that day. Okay. Y'all give me a cane. He going to be the first one I swing on. That's not what happened. They had a good laugh all night. I was more mad like, dude, why you call me Teen Cleves? Why you tell the nurses like, man, this dude was hurt. You really want that food? Like, no, I wanted to beat your butt on the game. Why you telling this cute nurse this garbage, man? And she's sitting there like, what did you cook? Like, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Everybody was there dying laughing that night. Like, y'all crazy.
See, laughter is a good thing, right? It's a good thing. Absolutely is a good thing. It can flip the whole perspective of your day, your evening, your whatever. If you see someone having a bad day, tell them that story. Make them laugh.
I was never telling those stories, Mary. Those are GA classified. Nobody got clearance. But God ain't fair. Like, all right, man, fine. I'll tell these stories. I'll be transparent. Somebody gonna watch this, start dying, laugh like this dude said, "What'd he do?" Like, yeah, true stories. It happened. I ain't making it up.
So, so this summer we'll be partnering, or fall we'll be partnering with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We'll have our tent up and we'll be out there. Supporting all the walkers and talking to people that are, dealing with suicide or have dealt with somebody with suicide. And, I told you the thumbs up story. I told you a little bit about the beads. Those are absolutely told it on those days, those
Okay.
walk days, and I make people laugh. And the first time one of the first events we did, I was just talking to people, right? And they got ready to walk, and I sat down for a second, and I looked at my husband. I said, "Look over there. They're taking pictures, and they got their thumbs up." And he said, my husband, he goes, "Look around you." And I looked around, and there was groups of people, 2,
Awesome.
3, 8, 10, and they're all going like this in some form of thumbs up. And I'm like, oh my God. He said, "You have people come back year after year to say, hey, I thought of you throughout the course of the year. You make a difference," right? And so it just, little techniques. Hi, Franklin.
Yeah, we appreciate you from Liberia. Awesome.
Wow.
We worldwide, baby.
So
Now, how much does a bag cost to make? If anybody want to reach out
yeah,
and
the
order.
bags are about $40 a piece.
Okay.
Yeah. And we give them to other nonprofits. So they go to hospitals, hospice organizations, they go to shelters, foster care agencies. I've given them to schools and autism centers. I give them to grief counselors and grief centers. And so they've already got the kids in their programs.
Mm-hmm.
So that they can, they can use it. I had a lady reach out a little bit ago, and she said, "I need one of your bags." And I said, "Well, tell me what's going on." And we talked for a minute, and I said, "Well, you need more than my bag." I said, "You need some help." I said, "So call this number, and this number.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have a bag in the next 3 days, you call me back, and I'll drive a bag to wherever you're at. But if you contact one of these places, they've got resources to help you further than what my bag can do, but they got my bag, so you should get a bag." And she called me, and or she sent me a text, and she said that she had gotten one of my bags, and
Mm-hmm.
that there was her little guy was running around the house with his lime green backpack on, and there was a little blue Matchbox car that was in that, and he was driving it over everything in her house. He was just running around the house driving his little car. And she said, "If you don't know what you do, I'm going to tell you. You make a difference. You made my little guy smile. He lost his brother, and there was some tragedy going on, and she said he hadn't smiled in days. And she said, you made him smile.
That's
You
awesome.
made him laugh, you know? And so that's a good thing, right?"
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I went to a conference one day, and I had, it was a 3-day conference, and I wore the backpack, and I had the panda bear sticking out of the top of the bag, like right on my shoulder. So
Okay.
you couldn't ignore me if you wanted to. You were going to make a comment about that crazy lady over there with that backpack and bear on her shoulder.
Oh man.
So
Okay.
the first speaker spoke, and then I got up to go to the restroom, and I got tap 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 on my shoulder, and I
Mm-hmm.
turned around, and there was a distraught family in front of me, and they said, "Are you the bag lady?" Well, I had never been called the bag lady before. Now I'm the bag lady, right? And I said, "Well,
Okay.
yeah, I guess I am." I said, "So what's going on? What's the matter?" And she said, "I don't know you, don't know anything about you." I said,
Mm-hmm.
"I have 2 children I lost my son who was 11 in his sleep. And I have 2
Oh
children that
no.
got your bag." And she said, "I'm telling you, I don't know where it came from or how I got it, but it was a godsend that I got it. Because my little girl just like kind of replaced her brother with this bear. And if she leaves the house, grandma has to babysit the bear because that's how important the bear is." And I said, "Well,
That's
take my
awesome.
picture. You met the bag lady. You tell her. She went home. She come back the next day, and she showed me a picture of her. And I said, "Oh, yeah, pull out your camera again." And so I had her videotape me telling the thumbs up story, right?
Okay.
And she took it home and she found me the third day and she said, "Oh my God, I have to show you what I found when I got home." And it was a picture of her daughter splayed out on her stomach, coloring in the coloring book, had her panda bear next to her brother's picture in the bag next to her. And she said, "That's what you do. That's the difference you make." And
That's awesome.
the picture that she showed me, the next picture was the little girl with both thumbs up in the air and the
Nice.
smile on her face. I'm like,
thumbs up. Nice.
there you go. Thumbs up, right?
Yes.
So you never know what a kind word or a kind gesture or kind thing can do in the life of somebody else. So
Yes. Anybody watching live or the replay, if you can, go to the website to donate what you can to help make these awesome bags for kids and people that need them.
oh, that's awesome.
You're doing an awesome service with this.
Thank you.
The tragedy does suck when it happens. And
Yeah.
hear these stories, the kids get your bag, and that's giving them some moments of joy that can erase those bad memories they get dealing with. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. You make it right for the moment, right?
Yeah, that's all sometimes you need because it could go left.
I had one lady come up to me at one of the suicide walks and she said, "Do you remember me?" And I'm like, "Oh, honey, I meet a lot of people. My memory's not as good as it used to be." I said, "Help me out a little bit." And she says, "Well, I met you last year at Suicide Walk." And she said, "My son had died 8 days before." And I said, "I remember you. You couldn't talk and your husband couldn't shut up." And she looked at me, she goes, "Exactly." She says, "But I heard everything that you said and you gave me ideas and you talked about different things and I didn't acknowledge you. But I heard you. And all year long, I heard those, oh, the first for this is going to be this or that or whatever, and try this or try that." And she said, "I had to come here specifically to see you, to thank you, because I heard you all year and I knew it was going to be okay." It was tough, but I knew I was going to be okay. I'm like, oh my goodness. You know, those days when you're bone tired from just, running, doing stuff, and you hear something that somebody calls you and say, "Hey, you saved my life," or "Hey, you made my baby smile." It's a good day, right? It's a good day.
Yeah. Dr. Mary, you're a national treasure with this thing because these stories, I'm like, you ain't gonna be showing no tears on here, boy. We ain't doing that. Nah.
Hey, I always say I'm authentic. I never know if I'm gonna laugh or cry. It all depends.
I know you be getting
never
water
know.
on some people. Man, you like, oh my God, that's just so. Nah, we ain't doing that. Nah, it's touching, but nah, we ain't doing it.
So we have a commonality. We have food flying in our backgrounds.
Now, what do you think has been your biggest challenge lately?
My biggest what?
Biggest challenge lately.
I do a lot of logistics, like moving product from one place to another, to stuff and to pick up donations. So it's always a little challenging, all the personal vehicles to do that and to move the product. So we're kind of at a spot where we really could use a facility. So, hey, if you know somebody that's got some space that they're not using and, that they would like to have a nonprofit occupy, I'm your girl.
I will reach out and see.
Hey, the only silly question is the one you don't ask, right? So there's my big audacious goal for this year.
Hey, I'm in agreement with you. You're going to get a building and a vehicle. So you can make it a little easier to move it to where you need to move it.
Yeah. So I could do, we could do more bag stuffings instead of once a month, and I could have, a small group of people come and do different things. And so that makes it challenging for me to be able to, try to hit more people in more time frames because of that limitation.
Okay. Now, lately, what has been your impact that you see?
My biggest impact?
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. You know what? It's just making people smile, making people know that, those kids that were able to spout off, 5 things like this without a doubt. I mean, they could have been half asleep in that room. They didn't have to listen to me.
Yeah.
I was going to make it
Yeah.
hard for them to do that, but you just talk to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And made it relatable. I told a story about my daughter. Um, she got 12 detentions. The counselor come in my office with her, and I'm like, "You got detentions for what?" I had the wrong color socks on. I said, "You hate it here that much?" It. She didn't say anything, and I looked at the counselor and I said, "My daughter doesn't go to school here anymore." I was a HR director in the school. I said, "I want my daughter to smile. I want my daughter to be happy."
Yeah.
I said, "And she's not happy right now. So, no, she don't go to school here. Go home." She's like, "What?" I said, "Go home." And she went home, and I got home a few hours later, and she's like, "Well, what are we going to do?" And I said, "You're going to go back to your other school where you were before I got the fancy job and be happy." And she's like, "I love you, Mom." But she apparently couldn't tell me. I said, "So your parents listen." That's what I told the kids. Your parents will listen. You just have to find a way to tell them, you know. Don't recommend getting 12 detentions.
Nah. Nah, that ain't
She had
that
done
ain't
something
good.
bad, but she said, "I got 3 teachers stop me in the hall before I got out of the building." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
Oh no.
Yeah, but you gotta put it in the stories and in their perspective that they can relate to, and maybe a little humor to it, and then it's more real, right? It's more real.
That's
And
true.
so, when I tell people they are the author of their day every day,
That's true.
make it a good day. You can pull the covers up and say, "Hey, I'm not doing it today." But guess what? At some point, you still got to go to the bathroom. You're still going to get your feet on the floor. You're still going to get out of that bed. So you might as well start it earlier and, flip the switch, right?
That's true. Now I need that Yoda game. What advice do you have for others trying to find their purpose?
So say it again.
What advice do you have for someone trying to find their purpose?
Uh, you know, um, we all have something we're passionate about. We all have something that, sometimes we put on the back burner because we're too busy doing something else. And when you really are, passionate about something and you have that purpose in mind, just go for it. Just go for it. And if you fall flat on your face, just like that plate of food that went down the hallway, or into the door, well, you know what? You laugh about it and you wipe it off and you have a better day the next day, right? It can't, don't let it color your life or color your perspective. It's just a bad moment. Let it go,
That's
right?
true.
And so if you've got a purpose, go for it because somebody needs you. That little kid that needed that little blue car, he needed that, right? That
Mm-hmm.
little girl that needed that teddy bear, she needed that. That lady that lost her son and told me that story, she needed that. And when I made that bag, I might have been tired. I might have been, "Oh, what difference does it make?" Don't second guess yourself because it does make a difference. So just trust in the fact that other people notice and other people are getting the fruit of your work that you're doing. So you have us all on your show all the time, right? You never know really what's going to come out of the mouths of any of us that get on your show. So you just have faith in the fact that, hey, it's going to be a good day, it's going to be a good show, and if not, you flip the switch and take it down a different road. So maybe it's a different, perspective.
Man, I was prepared to go get my keyboard. Like, we're gonna talk about creating music. Cause I say I don't know if she's busy. We're gonna see what happens. What's your backup? Show gotta go on. You know.
So you'll have to play your music for me next time, okay?
Oh, definitely. You're always welcome back. Always.
Oh, thank you. So to all your listeners out there, hey, go for it. Go for it. If you're having a bad day, brush it off, get a good night's sleep, wake up the next day, and, make it a purpose to do something different. I always tell people I wrote several books. And so I talk about the 4 aspects of positive reflection in my grief book. And then I made a children's grief book and a coloring book. But my journal that I made to go along with my grief book asked 2 questions. Every day by about 8 o'clock, you should be able to answer these questions. What did you do for yourself today? And what did you do for someone else? And if you can't answer the question, then 1, you're too self-centered on yourself and you didn't help anybody else out, and you need to pick the phone up and call somebody or walk the dog or do something for somebody else. And if it was all about somebody else and you didn't do anything for yourself, well, then you deserve a bubble bath or a bowl of ice cream or, hey, whatever it is that is going to make you feel good, because by 8 o'clock at night, we should have been kind to ourselves as well as kind to someone else. Right?
That's true.
So you don't need to buy my book. You just need to be able to answer those 2 questions at the end of the day, and then your life will have some balance.
Yeah, that was mine. Say that no mine. I forgot about that.
So somebody said, thanks for the discussion. Thank you back. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's always a great discussion with you, because you're going to keep the jokes coming. You already know you coming with the stories like, oh my God, that was so touching, so heartbreaking. Well, let me balance them out with a laugh. Like, okay, she's a master magician with it now.
So my therapist, I lost my daughter, and my therapist says to me, I need to write a book. I said, I never thought about writing a book. What are you crazy? You are just plumb crazy. And she said, no, you have to write a story. And I said, why? What do you want me to tell? And she says, man, well, you're unique. And I said, well, you could stamp my forehead. All that means is I'm certifiably crazy. I said, that's just nuts, And she said, you're a storyteller. And she said, you are going to be able to help a lot of people by telling a story. And I didn't get it. I didn't get it. But I had been journaling a little bit, through my grief. And once I sat down and started thinking about it, the first couple chapters in my book are short stories. So of course the door wall story is in there, of course, right? Going to my kids had my daughter laughed a lot. She told all my kids laugh a lot. And she went to several comedy shows. Her last Christmas present to me was to go downtown and see a comedy show.
Okay.
A comedian. And so when her anniversary came around, I'm like, I was worried about all my kids, and they're spread out across the country. And I'm like, so what are you going to do today? Oh, I got a ticket to go see those 4 crazy guys on TV, that I'm going to go see them. I said, oh, great. That you're going to laugh. You're good. I call another kid up. What are you going to do today? I got tickets to go to the comedy show out in California. I said, oh, you're going to be okay. I asked my husband, what are we doing? We got tickets to go to the comedy show. I'm like, well, we're all on the same track. We know laughter heals. Laughter's a good thing, right? But I was so worried about everybody, and they were all thinking of their sister and how to relate to her, and they all went to go see comedy things.
Yeah, comedy has its place because it gives you a nice distraction.
Yeah. So, but Yeah, one comedy show we went with her, and we were in the rafters of the performance,
Okay.
and the comedian's up there, and he told his joke, and everybody laughed and stopped, and Susie was still laughing. She was belly laughing. The comedian stopped, looked up into the rafters, and he goes, "Oh, it's going to be easier than I thought it was going to be tonight," which made her laugh even more. And that's the way she was. Right?
That's awesome. I definitely thank Susie Q Kids, president, co-founder, and author, Dr. Mary Welsh, SPHR, SCP. Always for the great stories, the great laughs. Remember to keep thumbs up for your loved ones that's not here.
Absolutely.
And that Yoda game at the end, go for it. You fall on your face, get back up and go for it.
And go Lions.
Yep, go Lions. You're going to be the main one down there like, we're Super Bowl champions. Like, I know her. Yep, that's her. She right there.
So Sue, my one daughter wanted to honor her sister. The last game of the season that she passed in 2017 on the big the screen up there, you know, where they have all the scores and the replays and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's a picture of my daughter, the biggest fan ever, and she had her put it plastered across the big, you know, I forget what they call it, but the screen up there. Mm-hmm. And I said, so yeah, that she loved the Lions. She would be in the hospital, and she would be in all her regalia, her beads and her uniform, you know, the jerseys and everything. And she'd be screaming at the TV, and the nurses would come flying in the room. What's the matter? What's the matter? Oh, they just scored, or oh, they just screwed something up. And then everybody be in the room watching with her for the rest of the game after they figured out she was in there watching the game. But yeah, you know, she always had the game on when she was in the hospital, and always had a group in there watching with her.
Yeah, Lions of old would do that to you.
Yeah.
Like, you see the game, like they were losing like about 30 points, but they scored 40 in the fourth quarter. What?
You like, Lions, what's the matter with you?
Only the Lions would do that. Like, man, it's 30-0. They lost. Let me do my homework. What you mean? That's the greatest thing you've ever seen. You turn on there like, for real? Y'all scored 40 in the fourth quarter. Really? Like, okay.
So let's make another child smile. Let's have a great day. You know, support Susie Q's kids. If you got an idea, give me a call. And Jeffrey, we'll do this again. I really appreciate you having me on.
Oh, no doubt. Appreciate you. Everybody have a happy weekend. Until next time.
All right.
Take 313. Detroit's love. The Motor City. Detroit's love. Can't nothing stop me. Detroit's love. I love my city. Detroit's love. That 313. Detroit raised me. Detroit.